Welcome back to number 4 in our little summer series of paintings. We've been having a lot of fun practicing our basic water techniques as we create each of these little doodle illustrations. The last one today is a tent in our camping theme. Each one of these is a prompt inside of my 30 free summer painting prompts, and I like to take a few of them and flush them out into full tutorials so that you can have a bit more direction. So check out that full list in the description below, and today we will jump into our tent. I have sketched out a basic little triangle tent in pencil, but I don't like to see the pencil show through my paint, so I'm gonna draw on top of it with pen. My little tent is, again, just that triangle tent, so it's kind of got this upside down V front, and then I like to pull it back into space, create another parallel line, but a little bit smaller, and then connect those together. So it's pushing this into a 3D form, and then I like to have my tent door open a little bit, and put a little oval at the bottom, to kind of like it's been rolled open. Keep those lines really loose. It can feel like a sketch, and then connect to those edges. Sometimes I'll put even little lines at those corners, like the little stakes, and I know that my tent is secure. Actually, just for funsies, I'm gonna throw on a little like window on the side. So again, I'm using those kind of curved lines, and I'm using those lines that go back in space. And then I like to, again, make it kind of like it's been opened, so little ovals, and like it's been rolled up, and you can see inside that window. Maybe it's been tied up a little bit. Okay, enough details. I'm gonna erase the pencil so I only can see my pen, and then we will get painting. All right, for painting this tent, this is a super quick and easy one. We're basically gonna do a nice fun wash of colors. I love the classic orange brown tent color. I'm actually gonna switch to a little bit larger brush. I've been using a 2 for almost all of these because they're kind of small doodles, but I got this 6 round recently. This is like a fancier brush. This is by Princeton. It's a Klinsky Sable. It's a natural hair. Most of the ones I get are synthetic, but I wanted to splurge once and see if I could tell the difference. And it is fun. I enjoy using it, but I wouldn't say you need it. I think it's use what you have. It's kind of always been my motto, but it is fun to try a fancier one and feel the difference of it. Over my paint palette, I've been using some cadmium yellow, and it's been mixing with just some really like light blue that I had there, which gives it this kind of green, grungy tint, which I don't mind. I've also had some brown in this area as well, so I'm gonna get a little bit more of that actually. I like to add this burnt umber to most of my colors, and it makes this orange feel a bit more brown. Now I have that color, however, I want my brush to be really full of water because I want it to go everywhere. So one way I could do this is to do water first with a wash, but because my tent is got a lot of different, ripples and bends, I don't really care if there's any hard edges if some area dries too quickly. So I'm using lots of water in the hopes that I can paint it all wet at the same time, but also acknowledging that, hey, if something dries a little bit and it has a crease, that'll feel like a tent. So sometimes I'm a little lazy, and I like to just roll in with the paint without using a wash first. I want this color to be everywhere that my tent is. Now this is quite tan, and I do want it to be a little bit more golden. So I'm gonna wake up my cadmium yellow, and while it's still wet, I'm gonna throw a bit more of this, ooh, that's nice and bright, all over my tent. I'm not being super picky. Whoa, I really got outside the lines there. I was gonna say I'm not being super careful to stay inside the lines. That was not on purpose, but I will show you how to get rid of that later on, because it happens to the best of us. Now, while it's still wet, I want to have a little bit more shadow. I am going to switch back to my small brush for this though, because I want a bit more control, and that was a little crazy. I'm going to get some of my burnt umber, and while it's still wet, I'm going to push that into those corners. Now, because the whole thing is wet, it might bleed into different edges and like the front, but if I don't have too much water on my brush, it shouldn't bleed super far. So even though everything is wet, I'm trying not to use a lot of water. The less water in my paint, the less it's going to flow into other spaces. Put a little bit there to show shadow. So I'm looking for those corners where there's not going to be as much glow coming from inside the tent. So especially the corners here on the sides, maybe even the corners on the front or on these rolled up portions. And then if I don't like how they're drying, so like these have quite strange edges, I'm going to wash my brush, dry it a little bit, and then I'm just going to kind of make little circles and massage and kind of push this color around and kind of just swirl it and spread it. Maybe do a few kind of strokes, like not quite horizontal, vertical, to follow the direction of the tent. But I really like all the variation it's creating. It's making it so that there's some dark and some light and some brown and some gold. So I want to play with that and embrace that variety, because it'll make it, again, feel like there's light coming from inside, like this canvas has been crinkled up in a bag forever until it finally was time to go camping. So we're gonna kind of embrace the mess with this one, but I've got lots of brown and gold working together to make this piece come to life. Oops, I just did another thing. We're gonna make this one about how to fix mistakes. Okay, I'm gonna actually dry this and show you how to fix some of these mistakes if you get outside the lines like I did. Okay, let's say you were painting like me and you have some pretty big obvious mistakes. I'm gonna get my brush wet, dab it a little bit dry, and with a damp brush, I'm gonna very gently massage the paint that I don't want to be there. Already it's getting much lighter and it's blurring, but if I really don't want it to be there, once it's wet, I can soak it up with a tissue. And I can do that almost as many times as I need to. Depending on your paper could start to pill the more you brush it over and over again, but this will at least lighten it. And the reason I dried everything before doing this is because if I add a bunch of water and the area on my actual tent is wet, then that extra water is gonna bloom into the tent and do some funky things I don't want. So by drying everything, and then I'm controlling the areas where I add water, and I'm not worried about that water going somewhere it shouldn't. So again, just adding water right on top of the paint I don't want, petting it a few times to wake it up, and then dabbing it away. So it's just a slow erasing process. If you want to see more tips for erasing, I do actually have a whole beginner video. It's my Back to the Basics series about erasing paint. There's a lot of different methods to it, and this is one of them for sure. But it's nice to have a few different tools in your toolbox for when those things happen. Now inside our tent, I do want there to be something going on. I think I'll probably put some shadow, even though it's kind of glowing from inside. So I'm gonna get that brown, that burnt umber that I've been using. And since my tent is wet now, this shouldn't bleed with the canvas, and I should be able to make it a nice solid color. And I think I might even put black with it. But let's start with brown, got burnt umber, because it's almost too similar to my tent. So I'm gonna wake up some of my black as well. There, that's making a little bit more sense, and it's giving a higher contrast, which I want to be able to see my tent better if the inside is in more contrast. So if that's too dark, I could also kind of stamp that down a little bit and just lighten it to a gray, just to make it feel less super stark, since I do kind of have the illusion of a glow happening in there. In fact, now that I stamped it, I might do a little bit of my lemon yellow, because that's different from my other yellow, and just throw a little bit of that on top just to warm it up, but it's not going to match my cadmium and blend in with my tent. There, I don't mind that. Subtle, but important. And last, I'm going to grab some green. Any green will do. I've got green on my paint palette here. I think it's got some brown in it. And I'm just going to use kind of the side of my brush to just kind of smudge and scratch. If I get the dry brush effect, then that's a great happy accident where it just kind of skips across the paper and doesn't make a smooth surface. That oftentimes looks like a grass, which I love. And I'm just gonna throw a bit of a grass down there underneath it, and boom, I've got a tent. You could add a night sky above it. You could add a little fire next to it. You can, add a whole scene, but the tent itself is really straightforward. You're drawing a basic form and you're really embracing that loose messiness of the golds and browns. So I hope you give that one a try. Check out all the other 26 prompts that I have in my free list so that you never have to think of what to paint and you can just get painting. I also have all my favorite art supplies, including what I'm using today, linked in a PDF. If you want that, you'll find the link to that in the description below as well. I'll see you next time. Happy painting.